Healing Forces.
Yes.
An incredible evening of support for our troops and our special forces, raised just in pledges in the room, $350,000.
Holy moly.
It was amazing. And I know a lot of these men that were giving and women that were giving, and it was just incredible. General Eric Carrilla got up there, Central Command, General runs Central Command here, SOCOM, in at MacDill. He gave a speech and talked about some of the warriors that he has been in his command, and the stories are just they're literally unbelievable. He told the story of this one soldier named Cap, and I won't do the story justice. He did such a great job telling the story. I'll hit the highlights of it. Who did 7 to 8 tours of duty, won every medal there is to win, bronze stars, everything there is to win. And on his, I think it was his 8th tour of duty in Afghanistan, was involved in a nasty firefight, and went out to grab one of his fallen comrades, while the Taliban is raining down machine gun fire on him, and caught a grenade in his right leg. And Cap was like so devoted to serving that he wanted to still serve, like in combat.
Yeah.
So he tried to rehab his leg for months and months, maybe a year, and could not. And then finally said, all right, take it off. I want a prosthetic leg. So got his leg amputated. This is also he could go back to combat.
So he could go back
with a prosthetic leg.
I didn't know they let you do that.
Only if you pass the tests. Only if you can pass the rigorous physical tests.
I know
of running with 100 pounds of gear a mile in under 5 minutes. Just some ridiculous number. All the rigorous physical tests that you have to test to that he already did to get in the Rangers. They said, I'm sorry, you have to do it again, because your team depends on you being able to do this stuff. So you have to, as we in other parts of the military reduce the physical demands and whatever. Right. But for him, he had to do this, and all that. And so with a prosthetic leg, he did it all. All those things, jumping out of an airplane and all these different ridiculous physical tasks that you have to do with a prosthetic leg. Went back into combat. More tours of duty. And, he said at one point he was in another firefight and his leg got shot off, his prosthetic leg. So he carried a spare in his backpack. I mean, you can't make this stuff up.
No, I remember seeing this on some news magazine somewhere, or maybe it was online. I saw this guy's story. Yeah.
You cannot make this stuff up.
And the only thing going through my mind is I'm listening to this, and as he was telling the story, as whatever I was watching, you got to see it live. That's awesome. But as I was watching it, I'm like, look, I'm all for sacrificing for your country and, doing everything you can do. But this guy literally gave everything twice.
Yeah.
And he welcomed it. Like he asked for it. Those people are just wired differently, and that's incredible.
And he quoted Ronald Reagan, when Reagan was doing a speech at D-Day, I believe it was, in Normandy. It's like, where do we find these men?
Yeah.
Where do we find these men? Well, there are farmers, there are high school football stars, they're your neighbors, and they live amongst us, and they're just the most amazing people in the world. And in the saddest part of this story, and General Carrilla got choked up and when he said it, is that through all this, all those rat bastard terrorists that tried to kill him couldn't get him. Yeah. Couldn't get him because his love for duty and country was so intense that he would not die, and he would not let his comrades die. But the strain of war and the horrors of war and having to return home are such that trying to reacclimate yourself into a civilized world is very hard. And our soldiers deal with this all the time. And they do not get the support that they need. And that's why we have to raise money and do the special things that we did last night for these incredible warriors. And Cap ended up taking his own life. And it's, because it's so hard to come back from that. and deal with the, the rigors of life that after you've been through things like that. So yeah, Operation Healing Forces. That is, Carrie Urban. She is the CEO. She did a tremendous job last night, as she did on the show. And she said she got a lot of response from our podcast that she came on, because they shared it across theirs. And so happy to be just a small part of the success of this event, a very small part. But we just implore you, Operation Healing Forces, whatever you can give, please give. And to help
no better cause.
It helps, the families, after these heroes have perished and given the ultimate sacrifice, the families have to go on. And, the money that they get is not really enough. So we have to do things for them. And it's just the stories of these heroes is really incredible. So I just implore you, Operation Healing Forces, please give if you can, time, money, whatever it is. So that was the keynote address last